How we all doing tonight? I hope we're doing good. Well, tomorrow is inauguration. That's when Trump comes in office. And I think Chicago is going to get ready to go on a warpath because I know ICE is going to be all over the place. Rockford, Chicago. We're going to see a lot of aggression, a lot of warlike situations. It's going to be bad. Bad, in fact, he wants to make Canada our 51st state. Actually, he says, well, we put out so much money to Canada and Mexico, protecting them by protecting them when we can. That we might as well just make them our. See, he wants to make Mexico part of the U.S. too. That's bad because all the cartel. But see, then our laws we'll be able to take our military and put an end to those cartels. That's why I suppose from a strategic point of view that would be good. So and we won't have to worry about those cartels. He wants to make Canadian and Canada part of the United States. Now, if he does that, you can go up in Canada and you don't need a passport. Right now, you need a passport. But he said he's going to get Canada as part of the United States. He's going to connect the borders one way or the other. Some people say he might start a war with them. If they do, there's only one way he can do that. We are part of NATO, and so is Canada. And so are a bunch of other countries. Now, in the NATO agreement that anybody that starts a war with any country in NATO, all the other countries are there to defend that country. The only rule that it says that the only time NATO won't step in is if one NATO country attacks another NATO country. Yeah. So there's a stipulation. There's a little loophole there. Yeah, I think it's just Trump is starting to show his true colors, I voted for him. I voted Republican, but he's starting to show his true colors, I don't think he's gonna, he wants to do away with state income tax or income taxes completely. I mean, before 1910, no one paid income taxes whatsoever. It wasn't until the Congress came out with the 16th Amendment that said that we had to pay taxes. I mean, a free country means no taxes, but that's why he wants to make America great again. He wants the tax revenue that he's going to make, or that will replace the taxes, are the tariffs on imports, which will cause those companies from overseas to move their businesses inside the United States. I mean, I want everyone to stay safe this week. A lot of stuff is going to go down this week. Maybe not in your town, but in the bigger cities like Chicago, Denver, New York, East Coast cities. I mean, a lot of stuff is going down. I mean, a lot of stuff, all laws are changing. The migration that happened when Biden was in office is going to come to an end. By Trump doing a mass deportation, this could cause a lot of trouble, a lot of fights, it's going to be chaos. It will be, maybe it won't be. A lot of immigrants, though, just say, well, instead of coming after us, they're ready to go. They're ready to go. All Trump has to do is set it up so they can go back home. They're willing to go back home. But some of them are going to fight the issue and try to stay. That's where we're going to have problems. Because the ones that came over here under a free pass from Biden said, man, they'd rather be back home. They make it better living back home. When they came here, they ended up on the streets, in old buildings, It, they didn't have no life here. But anyway, I tried to do a live stream on Friday, but Friday was the last day of gun hunting season for deer season. So yeah, I wasn't gonna go in the woods, and I think if any Sasquatch were around where I was gonna go, they probably fled the area while the hunters are out there, you know. So I figured the area where I hunt is probably the Sasquatch will come back. They'll probably wait a little bit and come back this way. You know, they can sense when the season is over. You know, they ain't stupid. We've had a lot of sightings, a lot of activity of Sasquatch in Illinois, which we've never had before. A lot of cryptid sightings of all types, not just Bigfoot, but Dogman, and even the Chupacabra has been seen in Illinois, and it's just, you know, everything's 2025 is going to be a very chaotic year. But I want all the people who watch my channel and everyone else who don't to stay safe this year. I want you to be careful. There are things out there that we know nothing about. There's situations out there we know nothing about. Just like if Trump decides he wants to go to war with Canada instead of taking Canada over peacefully, that could be a mess. We got YouTube family in Canada. We got Angelo, we got Mo Sargi. They're all Canadians, you know. And if this goes south, if the uh, hooking into Canada goes south, Mo Sargi and Angelo won't ever be able to come to the U.S. Um, but I don't know. I don't know. It's just a thought. Uh, there's a lot of stuff going on this year. A lot of, you know, I mean, I'm just saying, you know, what I'm talking is all hypothetical stuff, you know, but it can happen. I mean, nothing you put on paper ever goes to plan. I mean, I'll bring this up as an example. Obama came out with a healthcare system. Great job, great healthcare system, great plan. But in that plan, some of the prices were a little too high for some companies to have that plan as their insurance carrier, but they had to according to the laws. Like Hostess got shut down because they couldn't afford the premiums or whatever for that type of insurance. Now that was done by accident. He had purpose to do that, you know. But what looks good on paper isn't always good off paper, you know. Now I've got tons of different places I'm going to go Sasquatch hunting, Bigfoot hunting, or whatever you want to call them creatures. I've got I have seen plenty of tracks out there when I was cutting brush on Friday. On the edge of the woods, not in the woods, but on the edge of the woods. Uh, the hunters were way back in the woods where uh, deep in the woods where I go. Uh, that's where they were hunting at because there's a lot of deer back there, and I was on the edge of the woods. It's on my boss's property. I have plans for 2026. I got 1 year. I'm gonna think this out. Me and another guy are gonna travel the USA on motorized bicycles. We're gonna do ghost hunts. We're gonna do Bigfoot hunts, but we're gonna be on motorized bicycles. It's gonna cost a lot. We're gonna have little bicycle camper trailers that we have built. At least this is the plan anyway. We gotta plan all this out. We gotta build our campers to tow them behind the bicycles. They're motorized bicycles, so they got a little motor on them. Nothing fancy. It'll go about 25, 30 miles an hour, 35 maybe at the most. Um, and we're going to travel the U.S. We're actually going to go from Florida, shoot up the East Coast, go around Maine, come back down through, Whitehall, New York, and a lot of Bigfoot areas. Appalachia, hit that as much as we can. Um, all over the east part of the U.S. Now, and then we'll probably head back to Florida. I don't know if he wants to do the whole U.S. I want to do the whole U.S. And if the U.S. includes Canada, we'll be doing Canada also. However, that's 1 year away. We got a lot of planning and a lot of talking to do. I mean, I we got a lot of stuff to take care of before that time comes. That's in 2026. And we'll be recording our entire trip while we're on the bikes, while we're off the bikes, while we're camping. We'll be recording everything. We've been talking about this now for about a year, me and him, just privately. And the official date is the spring of 2026. We're going to start out. We're going to travel to the U.S. on motorized bikes. I'm going to throw my motorized bike in the back of the van and my little camper. I probably tow a trailer down there, but I'll go down to his place. Where is he? He's just he's in Florida, somewhere in Florida. I'll go down there, and that's where we'll start out at. That would be our starting point, and we'll go up around the. I want to go around the edge of the United States, and maybe hit a couple of interstates, But you know, sounds fun, but it's very expensive. So yeah, we got a lot of work. So this year, I'm gonna put as many videos out as I can. I'm gonna do a lot of live streams, and when I ain't posting for a couple of weeks, that's because I'm working my butt off to try to get money for this trip. We estimated what it would cost to do a trip like this. And that's as far as gas for the motorized bikes. If we have to stay at campgrounds, what that would cost. We roughly estimated that. Mostly we'll pull over to the side of the road someplace and do a stealth camping or something, And but this is something that me and him both want to do. So why not see America? Someone says see America on a bicycle. Someone else said see America by a motorcycle. So why not combine the two and make it a motorized bicycle? That way, if you don't feel like running the motor, you can shut the motor off and pedal. I mean, if you don't feel like pedaling anymore, you start the motor up and you take off. I mean, and you can get to a lot of cooler places just with a bicycle because all 50 states allow bicycles and bicycle trailers. um, and motors, but the motors you only can go so fast. In some states, they really regulate the speed. They say 28 to 30 miles an hour in some states. Other states you can open it up and go as fast as the motor will carry you, but on a bicycle because there really ain't no laws to speed on a bicycle. So, but these are just some plans that we have. I mean, this year is going to be a great year for me personally. For the general population of the U.S., I don't know. I think it's going to be very chaotic. I mean, I've had other veterans call me and talk to me about this, and I'm like, man, I don't know what's going to go on. I'm in a group that, if it ever come down to it, and we got into a war, how would we help the locals? How would we protect them or show them how to protect themselves in a time of chaos? I'm in one of those type of groups. I can't survive in the woods. I know plants, what to eat, what not to eat. Long time ago when YouTube first started, I was had a survivalist channel, and I was always at that time running into Bigfoot, or running into a situation with them. But my whole life, I've been dealing with these creatures. They've always been at some point in my life. They've always been involved in my life in some way. So, but I didn't do any Bigfoot videos back then. I should have, but never did. I would have been the only one doing them. But I just figured I'd stop in and shout out to Donald Trump for his inauguration. I want you guys all to stay safe. And just remember, God loves you. So do I. I'm Jim, Life's Adventures, keeping it real.